hope you're all doing all right. Another lovely sunny day, and I just thought of making a dessert today called Millefeuille with a cardamom infused cream, a nice puff pastry. I don't know if any of you have tried Millefeuille. It's a wonderful pastry dessert, and I'm going to start off by showing you the ingredients that we're going to use right now. We're going to use milk first of all, and that is 350 ml of full fat milk. Then we will need double cream, and we will use 150 ml of double cream. We want 80 grams of sugar, 40 grams of corn flour, 3 egg yolks, 1 full egg, and we are going to infuse our cream, as I said, with some cardamom pods. We're going to also use star anise and some peel from an orange. So I'm going to get cardamom pods and slice them in half and take out all of the seeds that are inside the cardamom pods. So we're just going to take out the seeds and we will put them inside our milk. We're also going to add our star anise and grate inside the peel of an orange. Last but not least, we will add 1 teaspoon approximately of vanilla extract. And we will need to put that immediately on low heat. Now we need to put our cream and let that come to a boil. Okay, now we'll take in our sugar, and in here we have to add the corn flour and the egg yolk. So mix that together, and I'm going to start putting the eggs one by one. First we put 1 whole egg, and then we will need 3 egg yolks. Now you just mix that, beat that together. So we continue on beating our eggs with the corn flour and the sugar. You beat that very well, and we're waiting for our milk to come to a boil. Just right before it comes into a boil, we need to put 1/3 of our cream and milk mixture inside the egg and corn flour. It's nice and creamy, and we are ready to just turn the heat off and put our cream. And you mix this one continuously. Just mix that nicely. Put the heat back on into medium heat, and I will start adding the mixture of milk and eggs and corn flour incorporated inside the rest of my cream. We continue on stirring until this starts to set. You can see that the cream is starting to set lightly, and we have to beat a little bit faster. And now that it has started to set, we just remove it off the heat. So I'll just remove it off the heat. That's it. So it's got this consistency of a nice cream. And now what we need to do is we need to let that cool. So I'm just going to empty it inside a bowl. Again, I will empty my cream right here. And as you can see, the star anise is still in here. We could have taken it out before we put the corn flour and egg mixture inside, but I'm always happy to leave it and take it out later as it infuses the cream even more. Okay, so this is ready. We need to put on top of it some cling film. So I'll show you right now what I'm going to do. As you can see, I'm just applying it directly on the cream. And I don't want to allow any air to go here, and we will let that cool. In the meantime, while we're waiting for our cream to cool, which we have put into our bowl and let it aside, this needs to cool, as I said, for about 2 to 3 hours, so you can start doing it way up ahead. But while we're waiting for that, we need to start doing our pastry. So all you have to do is just get some good quality all butter puff pastry. And the ready-made filo sheet is even better, so you don't have to open that up. And here you have your puff pastry, which should just come out of the fridge so it doesn't melt. So what you need to do is just cut it in 3 equal pieces. And another one right here. That's it. So we have put our pastry into our baking sheet, and as you can see there's 3 equal pieces, as equal as you possibly can get them. You have your oven ready at 160 degrees, and you start piercing your pastry with a fork as many times as you possibly can. This will help the pastry not to puff up that greatly, because what you don't want is you don't want your pastry to be way too puffy. And we are now ready to put it inside the oven. As I said, the oven needs to be at 160 degrees temperature. We need to bake it for approximately an hour. It may be a little bit less. And after the 30 minutes or after 20 minutes, you turn it around. So you take it out, you turn it around, and I will show you what to do. As you need to press it with a towel to go ahead and take out any of the air that has formed as the pastry puffs up. Okay, so let's put it in. We need to leave it in there for approximately 20 to 30 minutes. While that is getting ready, we need to crack on by making our sauce. So while we're waiting for our puff pastry to bake in the oven, I'm going to make a sauce that I'm going to accompany my dessert with, and that is an espresso sauce. I love coffee, and I think it goes really well with the cardamom infused cream that we use for our millefeuille today. So the sauce is going to be made of the following ingredients. We will need milk, heavy cream, an egg yolk, sugar, and butter. And we're going to start off by 1 tablespoon of butter that I put in here. I'm going to put the 50 grams of sugar. So 1 tablespoon of butter, 50 grams of sugar. And I'm going to start mixing that together. So I will beat that together. And slowly I'm going to add the egg yolk, 1 egg yolk. Again, I separate 1 egg that I'm using. And I start beating that together. So the butter, the sugar, and the egg yolk to make a cream. As you can see, it becomes creamy. On that, I will need to add some corn flour and my coffee powder. All we will need is approximately 1 teaspoon of corn flour. So you continue on mixing after you added your corn flour. And you add your espresso powder, 1 tablespoon of espresso powder. I put just a tiny bit more. And if you don't have espresso powder, I'm sure you could go ahead and use some instant coffee powder. But if you can pulverize it, if you can make it in a powdery form, it will be much better. So either instant coffee or instant espresso powder. Okay, so we've incorporated our coffee inside our mixture. And now what we have to do is we need to add slowly the cream and the milk. And we're going to use 500 grams of milk. Mixing that slowly. Now we need to put our cream. It is 50 grams of cream that we have to incorporate. Now we're continuing to mix this, and now we need to put it on heat. So medium heat. And you just empty all this in here, and you continue on stirring that until it starts to boil. Right before it boils, you have to move it away from the heat. Our puff pastry now needs to come out of the oven, and it's been over half an hour. So it's got a really nice color, and as you can see, it's golden. And I need to press all of the air out and then turn it around so it can bake for another 30 minutes. So you just get 1 clean towel, just press it, and remove all of the air from the puff pastry. So I'm going to turn it around right now. And as I said, press out all of the excess air. And that's nice and flaky right now, and that's what will create all the layers in our pastry. And we're ready to put it back in another approximately 20 to 30 minutes again. So it can bake from the other side. So we are mixing our coffee sauce, and we are waiting for that to start setting, and you just remove it from the heat just before it starts to boil. That's perfect, and it's starting to set, so we just remove it from the heat, and we will let that cool and let it set. Once it cools, it will set even more. You can use the sauce over ice cream, you can use it over any custard or anything that you like. As I said, I'm going to use it today on my millefeuille with a cardamom infused cream. We have now all of the parts of the dessert ready. So we've got our cream, which has cooled down. We've got our pastry ready. The pastry sheets have been baked and they have been cooled down. And we have our coffee cream as well ready, our coffee sauce. We will need to go ahead and make our cream a bit more fluffy. So we will use the mixer and beat our cream together, and I have put a knob of butter in there, and we need to mix that so it can become creamy and fluffy. So we just finished with our cream, beating our cream together so it's nice and fluffy, as you can see right here. And we start by setting it up and using one of the pieces from the pastry sheet, and we're going to put the cream just on top of it like that. That's it. Then you put the rest, the other sheet, just leave it as it is. And continue the same way by adding the rest of the cream. And now we need to put the final piece on top. And press it down slightly. So we've set up our millefeuille, and we just need to dust a little bit of some icing sugar. That's it. And some of the flakes that have been left over from the pastry, you just flake that up, because as we said, that millefeuille means 1,000 layers, and that's what you can see that it has been made. So the puff pastry has made all those different layers, and a bit of the flaking that's there. Okay, so that's our millefeuille. You can actually have it just like that, so it's nice and flaky, or you can cut it up ahead and just put it a little bit in your freezer for about 20 minutes. But I prefer mine as it is because it's nice and fresh. And in order for us to be able to cut it, because it's very flaky, is that I have to hold it like this. That's it. I think this is quite a generous piece. And we are ready to put our sauce, our coffee sauce, with it. And I'm just going to spread it out like this, so it gives a nice decor on our plate. And that's it. Here you go. This is a millefeuille with cardamom infused cream and other spices and espresso coffee sauce. I hope you enjoy it.